Hello, boys and girls. This is Dr. D. Our topic today is neutral colors. White, black, and when you mix them together, gray. Boys and girls, we're going to talk about neutral colors today, black, white, and gray. But before we do that, I want to review all the ideas we've talked about since the beginning of school. This is an example of primary colors, and it's abstract. It doesn't look like anything particular. It's also of shapes. So primary colors, abstract, shapes. This art piece is also in primary colors, but I've used patterns and I've used lines, different kinds of lines, and different kinds of shapes to create my patterns. So we have the word patterns. This is a realistic piece. It looks like an animal, and it's in primary colors. If you mix primary colors, you get secondary colors, green, orange, and purple. And here is an example of secondary colors using realistic art. This is a flower. It looks like a flower. Now, last week, we talked about two other combinations of colors called the warm colors and the cool colors. This is an example of the warm colors. Orange, red, and yellow. And the cool colors are blue, green, and purple, or the word violet. Today, we're going to focus on the neutral colors, black and white. And as I was preparing for this class, I remembered something that happened when I was a child. When I was a little girl, all the television shows were in black and white. That was just the way it was. We didn't really know that we were missing anything. And my grandmother got a colored television set, and that was a huge deal. So my father took us over to my grandmother's house on Sunday night to watch Walt Disney. It was one of the shows that was in color, and we looked forward to that enormously. It seems very silly today, but it was a big deal to see television in color. Well, photography is like that too. When my father was a young man and he was in the military during World War II, here's a photograph of him with his mom, and it's black and white. All photos at that time were black and white. Different shades and nuances of black and white, but they were all black and white. This is an photograph of me when I was a young mom with one of my small babies. This baby is Adrian. He's now in his late 20s. So again, black and white. There are photographers that only do black and white, but much of the artwork that we see today is in color. So I drew two different scenes. This one is a penguin, and that was easy to do in black and white, and also shades of gray. Now I have a gray crayon, but you can also make gray by using white and black lightly. So here's my penguin, and then I began a tree, and we're going to work on the tree together. So we'll do the tree first, and I want you to think about the time that will come in the months from now where there will be no green leaves or flowers, that everything will be black and gray. Not my favorite time of year. We call that the winter. So to start a tree, we can do the trunk, some curved lines, and then just make lots of curved lines off that trunk. I'm doing this with a little darker pencil so it will show up on the video. You can just do it with a regular pencil. And you can make lots and lots of branches. And now we're going to go back and color the trunk of the tree with black. As I've told you many times before, I'm coloring very fast and not very carefully. To save time on the video, I would like you to take your time and make sure you get all the white spots taken care of. Okay, and then I can thicken those pencil lines that I used for branches. I can thicken them with the black crayon and go over the top of them. And I can add lots of branches if I want. Okay, so there's a very quick example of a tree. Now, I'm going to do two different things. I'm going to do some white in the background, in between the branches. And I'm sure that on the video, the white will be very hard to see. And white down here quickly. Now, if you recall that in the winter in Louisville, many of our days are gray. So I'm going to now add light black to the white that I created to give the impression of the gray. Now, I could also use a gray crayon, which I'm going to do on the other side so you can see the difference. Using the gray crayon is a little more uniform. I don't know though if you have a gray crayon at home. Okay, now I could add more branches. I could make the branches darker, but you get the idea of what you could do with the tree. And so this is an art piece totally in neutral colors. The penguin is also in neutral colors, and let's draw that together. So you'll need a piece of paper and pencil, and make sure that you have a good eraser. This one we have to go slowly because we have to make sure we get the outside shape right. So we're going to go around with his head, and pretty much his back is relatively straight. Bring it down. All right, now we can do a little bit for the wing. Okay, and then the body here comes around, just a little bit on the fat side. Okay, the feet down here. All right, we can put eye here and the beak. And then I might go back and erase this line, but you don't have to. All right, again, I think when we outline it with pencil, a darker pencil, it really helps. I'm going very fast just to show you how you could do this. And when you do this at home, you want to make the lines much thicker and much more even than I did. But that gives you an idea. Then you can go back and do the wings very black. And if you'd like to, as I did, outline more of the outside with a heavy black stroke. Okay, and we do the eye, outline the eye. Okay, and then this could all be done in white for the underside. And as I said before, you can use the gray crayon because I imagine where the penguin lives, there's a lot of gray days. You could also use white and black together. And down here, I'm going to do white and black. Now, as I've said many times, I'm going really fast to save video time, but you get the idea. All right, so neutral colors. I have to admit, neutral colors are not my favorite. I'm a fan of very vivid colors. But for some people, it's their absolute favorite kind of photography, favorite kind of art. Until I see you next time, have a really good week. This is Dr. D.